Good evening. We start the news off on a somber note as 5 deaths were reported over the past 24 hours due to drowning. We will have a comprehensive report on this, but before that, we take a look at the headlines tonight.
Over 280,000 affected due to floods. 3 US Deputy Assistant Secretaries arrive in the island. Metsuri issues a challenge. Sajid explains his mission.
මගේ රස්සාව මගේ ආදරණීය ලක්වාසී ජනතාවට සුබ සාධනය දියත් කිරීමයි.
And the JVP comments on Sri Lankan domestic workers.
අවුරුද්දකට මැද පෙරේ ගිහිල්ලා මිය ගිහිල්ලා පෙට්ටියෙන් ලංකාවට එන ගාන 400ට වඩා වැඩි.
Over 280,000 individuals have been affected due to floods in several districts. According to the Disaster Management Centre, the brunt of the inclement weather conditions have been felt in the Ampara and Batiklo districts.
Many areas in the Batiklo district remain inundated and a large number of people have been affected as a result of this. 1,944 individuals belonging to 540 families are currently housed at 9 welfare camps. The District Disaster Management Centre added that a further 8,512 individuals belonging to 2,461 families have been affected by the inclement weather and that they are currently residing with their relatives.
We have asked the district secretariats to provide dry rations to the affected families for 2 weeks. There are some NGOs assisting us in this. We have asked to provide the affected with mats, mosquito nets and other necessary equipment to the affected. We have been in this school for 2 weeks. No relief was provided by the government. It's the area residents who help each other. We were affected by the flood twice before and we were in this school, but no one came to help.
According to the Disaster Management Centre, 16,536 individuals belonging to 4,650 families have been affected in the Ampara district. 896 persons belonging to 212 families are currently housed at 6 welfare camps located in the district. Over 300 acres of farmlands in Ampara have been damaged due to floodwaters not receding.
When it rains, we can reap a harvest from only about 50 to 60 acres out of 200 acres. The others get destroyed. The aniket from which the excess water is removed can only be opened partially. When there is no proper method of removing water, the water gets collected.
Meanwhile, farmlands in the Hingurana and Eragame areas have also been completely destroyed. Floodwaters have also caused damages to many of the roads in the Ampara town. The Uhana area along the Kandy-Ampara main road has also been damaged as a result of the floods. Many tanks and reservoirs in the Polonnaru district continue to overflow. The spill gates of the Min area tank as well as the Parakrama Samudra remained open. A number of areas have been inundated due to the Kaudulla tank exceeding spill level. According to our correspondent in the area, over 500 acres of farmland in the Madiragiriya, Kirimatia and Parakumpura areas have been inundated. Several sections of the Polonnaru Batiklo main road have been flooded between Kallalla and Manampitiya. Our correspondent added that all spill gates of the Kantle tank have also been opened due to heavy showers experienced in the area.
A 3-member delegation of US Deputy Assistant Secretaries arrived in the island today.
The 3-member delegation will meet with senior Sri Lankan officials, members of various political parties as well as civil society representatives. According to a release issued by the US Embassy in Colombo, the US Deputy Assistant Secretaries are due to discuss a wide range of issues, including progress in implementing the LLRC recommendations as well as the National Action Plan. The 3-member delegation consists of Deputy Assistant Secretary of State James Moore, who had previously served as the Deputy Chief of Mission at the US Embassy in Colombo, as well as Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Jane Zimmerman and Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense Vikram Singh. The 3 US Deputy Assistant Secretaries met with members of the TNA today. TNA Parliamentary Group Leader R. Sambandhan and TNA parliamentarians M. A. Sumandiran and S. Sridharan were present at the occasion.
We discussed a variety of issues, mostly pertaining to the situation in the north, the continuing militarized environment there, the lack of resettlement, land grabs, and other related issues, particularly in relation to the non-implementation of the LLRC's constructive recommendation.
An Australian delegation, including Deputy Opposition Leader Julie Bishop, will arrive in Sri Lanka tomorrow on an official visit. The Secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs, Karnatilaka Amanugama, said the purpose of the visit is to strengthen bilateral relations. Amanugama added that the delegation and Julie Bishop will hold discussions with Minister of External Affairs, Professor J.L. Peris, during their stay. Leader of the Indian DMK party, M. Karunanidhi, has called on the Indian government to take a strong stand in support of Sri Lankan Tamils at the UN Human Rights Council session.
According to a media report published on the Hindu newspaper, the leader of the DMK, in a letter to his partymen, has said there was doubt whether India was compromising on some issues, such as Sri Lankan Tamils, to show itself as a neutral country. In his letter, the leader of the DMK party, Karunanidhi, has said he was confident that the issue about Sri Lankan Tamils would be discussed in detail at the 2013 March session of the UN Human Rights Council. He has also asked India to take a strong stand in support of Sri Lankan Tamils at the UN Human Rights Council session.
On the occasion of the 64th Republic Day, India exhibited state-of-the-art ballistic missiles even as soldiers belonging to the three armed forces marched down Rajpath, the ceremonial boulevard in the heart of the city, enthralling spectators.
Indian President Pranab Mukherjee arrived with the chief guest for the Republic Day parade, Bhutanese King Jigme Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk, who was accompanied by his wife Queen Pema Jetsun.
At the saluting base and the Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk, the reigning king of Bhutan.
Mukherjee unfurled the national flag to the tune of the national anthem, which was followed by the customary 21-gun salute and the main parade on the Rajpath. Army helicopters were seen flying in a formation over the Rajpath, and they carried the national flag as well as the flags of the Army, Navy and Air Force. With scores of people turning up for the event and being graced by the country's top political fraternity, the parade kick-started with a brilliant show of the country's military strength as various contingents of the three armed forces marched in sync. The spectators applauded when they got to see India's Agni 5, the ballistic missile. Various military tanks and vehicles which carried the missiles were also shown at the parade. The Republic Day is observed to commemorate the adoption of the Indian Constitution on the 26th of January 1950.
Meanwhile, a special function was held in Colombo today to mark the 64th Republic Day of India.
The event was held at the official residence of the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka. Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka Ashok K. Kantha was the chief guest at the event.
During the just concluded Joint Commission, we also agreed to launch very intensive negotiations towards a special economic partnership between our two countries. Several new projects and initiatives have been identified and agreed upon, ranging from an understanding to ensure that the Sampur Power Project is made operational in 2016, to exploration of feasibility of establishing physical connectivity across the Pocket Strait, to setting up of manufacturing zones in Sri Lanka with Indian cooperation. Sri Lanka today is at a historic juncture in its history, and at this historic moment, India, as in the past, is prepared to be a valued partner of this country in meeting its aspirations of peace, harmony and development.
Moving on to other local news, Minister of Environment Anura Priyadarshini Appa spoke on the international influences on the country during a function held yesterday.
The only joy they have is seeing disunity in our country and seeing the country's government in a weak state. They attempted to create a dispute between the legislature and the judiciary. Then they attempted to create a dispute between the executive, legislature and the judiciary. They wanted to recreate the unrest that took place in the Arab Spring. However, our intelligent citizens and ordinary public did not like the idea of unrest. They joke at us when we speak of international forces, but we do not use these words in vain. There are attempts being made by international forces to weaken the government and create disunity using whatever excuse they can. The minister made this statement during a function held to distribute goods to elder societies in the Variyapole area in Kurunegala yesterday.
5 people have drowned in incidents which occurred in various parts of the island over the past 24 hours. Another person has been reported missing.
2 children drowned in the seas off Kalamulla in Payagala this morning. The police media unit said they were residents of Piliyandala. The victims were 2 boys aged 9 and 18. The police say that a 45-year-old man who was also bathing in the sea is missing. Another person who survived has been admitted to the Nagoda hospital. Meanwhile, 2 children drowned when their raft capsized on the Kudavai Kattu lagoon in Kinya at about 10 o'clock this morning. The victims were a 5-year-old boy and a 13-year-old girl. The group had been looking for seashells in the lagoon. While 5 people were aboard the raft at the time, it has been reported that the children's father was among them.
People in Alutwalatapite in Ampara took to the streets today after a man was killed in a wild elephant attack. Another man who was critically injured in the incident has been admitted to the Ampara hospital.
55-year-old K. Krishna Pillai from the village of Alutwalatapite in Ampara was attacked by the wild elephant while standing guard over his paddy field at dawn today. The pachyderm was one of a herd which encroached on the village last night. The wild elephant, which also damaged crops in the area, also attacked another person at the same location. Wildlife officers visited the location where Krishna Pillai was killed this morning. Villagers say that human lives are at risk from wild elephant attacks since there is no current running through the 28-kilometer long electric fence which was built to keep elephants away. Since no positive response was forthcoming for their appeals that the fence be reconstructed, the villagers staged a demonstration blocking the Ampara-Kalmune road today. Assistant Wildlife Director in charge of the Eastern Zone, Lalit Kumara, visited the scene of the demonstration. The demonstrators then dispersed.
A number of deaths and massive property damage caused by elephants in 2012. Villagers expressed dissatisfaction over the decision not to construct electric fences. Electric fences will be erected in areas that are affected by wild elephants by mid-2013. A number of human and elephant deaths reported during the past 26 days. Shouldn't practical steps to solve this issue be taken without limiting it to mere words?